Hey everybody, welcome back to another great episode of Long Range Tactics. We've got, a kind of a close to the hip topic to hit on today, but of course we couldn't be doing this without our great sponsors. Now, I don't know if any of you have been watching social media at all lately, but suppressors are coming back super fast, especially if you're not on a trust, if you're just, wanting a suppressor. I've seen some of them come back in like 2 days. So whatever they did back at the ATF, it seems to be working. Why do I say this? Go to Silencer Central. You can buy more than just the Silencer Central cans. You can get Silencer Co's. There's a couple other brands. I really like the Banish 30s, the Banish Backcountries if you're a hunter, but they make the damn buying experience so freaking easy. It's a no brainer. So we want to say thank you to Silencer Central for supporting us. I got a bunch of the cans. I know Matt's working on getting some of their cans to test out, and I know he's going to be super happy with what he gets because I have been extremely happy with them. And of course, Optics Planet, they're our next top tier. If you're needing anything, go check out there first. Again, I'm still working on the stupid codes, and I apologize. That's on me. I'm going to get some out here pretty soon, according to the summer, and get some shooting codes out there for you guys and gals that want to do it. And then hopefully, as we move into the hunting season, I'll have some of those codes for you. But thanks to Optics Planet for sponsoring us and supporting us. I've got to get some more of their stuff for some test and evaluation. I know Burris and they wanted to push some of that stuff, and I like the Burris stuff that I've got. It seems to have been really good glass. But you said you had something new from MDT. What you got?
So yeah, man. I've actually been kind of the beta tester for. So we showed this at SHOT Show, the Echo Target sensor system. So it's a
Uh-huh.
remote system. So most of and I kind of want to cover something else too. So I got a few of these little Hornady ones. I really enjoy the people at Hornady. They are fantastic folks. But
Mm.
so the little LED guys that flash. So it actually flashes when it hits. It flashes the Morse code for hit, which is pretty cool. And it goes on the T-post or like some other mount or something. Pretty neat. USB charging. Really cool. Like low dollar option, right? I think they're like 15 bucks a piece, which is great for LED stuff. But MDT in conjunction with a very good friend of mine, Kevin. So Kevin been working on this. It's called the ecosystem. So there's a base hub, which is what I got in my hand if you're watching the video, and it's got channel mode volume, and then it's got LEDs on it too. And then you have these targets sensors that you put on the back. I don't even hear that, but and you can actually program it to say different things. So it's got like a hellacious like range to it, like well over a mile. Um, and like I said, just put the sensor on the back, and then it's got channel delay ID, so you can run. So for me as a match director, this is amazing because I can use one hub and use the same hub for different stages, and just move the hub around and just switch channels. But you can program it to say different things. So I'm gonna hold this up to my microphone when this got hit right here. So you can do that, or this hub that I have has a bunch of different random sounds programmed into it. Oops. So, so it says a bunch of random stuff, so you can actually drop MP3s in it. There's instructions that you can find to do this, and this has been great. So I run bolt gun, like PRS matches, and then gas gun matches. So we've been working fine tuning the sensitivity and then the delay for the different targets and stuff at distance. Which, if you're familiar to gas gun matches, most people run 223, and you put a full size target, a big target at distance with a 223. It's hard to see, and those matches are scored time plus. So however quickly you can complete the course that stage for the course fire is your score, is your time, is your score. So if your spotters and stuff aren't seeing those hits, but you have something like this that will tell you when you hit it, so it'll visually confirm as well as audibly confirm. You'll get a better time, so there's no lag. So it's a super cool system. Working on it. I mean, it should be released to the wild here in a couple months. But yeah, I've really been enjoying playing with this. Even and we run in the matches kind of as a backup spotting thing, and it's been pretty damn good, man. I've been stoked on this.
That's awesome. I mean, it's the little things that we're all enjoying nowadays, as a match director, especially when you got ROs that aren't as, qualified. That's probably a good thing to help those ROs out because I know I got a lot of my ROs, they got their heads chewed off sometimes with that type of shit. So,
Yeah, and the big picture, man, is we'd like to be able to tie this into a shot timer and also a scoring system. So, I mean, eventually, I believe that if the sport's around for long enough, you're going to have automated scoring system where all an RO is technically doing is verifying what's going on. So you're taking,
Well, and being safe, right, and
yes,
making sure no
100%,
one. Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
But they can focus more on that than trying to read steal targets, which I mean, I've had to politely have that conversation with ROs like, "Hey, did that hit? Here's what I saw." And then someone else will chime in and either tell me I'm full of it or confirm what I saw, like, hey, I saw that too, and this the RO go back and forth. But if you have that visual audible confirmation, that helps a lot with that, and you're getting credit for the things that you do. Or
Mm.
I mean, if you just wildly miss too and like, nah, man, it didn't even come close. So but I mean, you shoot enough matches and you perform at a high level, you're not missing by much if you do actually miss. So
Right, right, exactly. There's something weird going on with my microphone, and I apologize if you guys and gals listening hear it. I don't know if it's just in my headset or what. I've never heard it before, but I apologize. We've been trying to work super hard on making sure our audio is perfect. So if you hear it, I apologize. I'll work on it and get it fixed. But I wanted to go over, it's kind of been one of those topics that I've kind of skirted around a few times, but it's honestly how we treat each other and how we don't have each other's backs. And what I mean by that is like on forums, in social media groups, in different things. And we've all seen those guys that hide behind different names that just go in and completely stir shit. And they're super good at it. And the funny thing is most of them, if you saw them on the street, they run the other way because they're too scared, but they get behind it. That's where I created my typer sniper guy. You get super big and impressive when you're online, but and that's kind of I've said it time and time again. That's why I created long range tactics. Was I wanted somewhere to go without the BS that people could come have a conversation, not feel like they're going to get attacked, and be decent about it. Granted, there's a lot of people that don't go out there and try and do their own research. They just want somebody else to give them all their stuff. But when I started shooting, none of that was out there. We all had to learn. We evolved through trial and error because we didn't have groups. We didn't have all this stuff to help us out.
So I had that conversation with a shooter in Utah a few months back. He said, "Well, all these new shooters are coming are so good," and I said, "Yeah, man, because we figured it all out for them. We paid that price." So
Mhm.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we all started shooting with 300 Win mags. We started shooting with whatever we had. 7 rim
Right.
mags, whatever it was. We just shot with it, and we learned over time the evolution of everybody. Oh, you've got to have X cartridge, or you're not going to be proficient. We've all learned that's BS. Guys are shooting 22 cals winning matches. Guys are shooting 6 cals winning matches. And that's the whole thing. But we are so into trying to just trash each other in different places. Now, there's constructive criticism. There is, hey, you screwed up, and here's why you screwed up, and let's learn from it. And then there's just somebody that is just trying to stir the freaking pot. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. So here's the story, right? And a lot of people know that, or might not know, I own long range, or I own straight jacket armory too. And I've tried not to push it on here. I've tried to leave long range tactics as open as it can for everybody. Like I don't try to push my own agenda on long range tactics. But so I had a customer come in, or he didn't come in. We sent him a barrel. He screwed it in. Somehow this barrel welded. And I mean welded like we have never seen in all the years that we've been doing this into this action. And first off, we asked him, well, what happened? Like, do you know? And he goes, well, I just hand tightened it. Right. So he sends the barrel back, sends the action back. We can't get it out. I have video of me sitting on a freaking cheater bar and the action won't twist off the barrel. And, it throws up some red flags. Like, really? Did you just, hand tighten this freaking thing? Um, but I tried to make it right. Long story short, we screwed up and we sent the guy back the same action. We weren't supposed to send him back, but the shipping lady thought, well, crap, this action came in from this guy. This action must go back out. And if anybody knows what a coup de grace is and you've seen a serial number on a coup de grace, everything Ted does is over the top. So the serial number is like 17 digits long. So we screwed up. Anyway, this customer decided to go to Sniper's Hide and talk about how we screwed him and how we were this horrible company and everything else. I took my personal coup de grace that I was going to build something on and I sent it to this guy because I couldn't prove what happened to it. I had no idea. Was it our threads? I don't know. Was it something in the action? I don't know. I just went above and beyond and did it. But instead of this customer calling me and giving me the chance to explain what happened, he just went and took it upon himself to go to the thing. And I got mad after I saw it and I tried to call him and he wouldn't answer. I got mad and I said some stuff I probably shouldn't have. Well, no, I know I shouldn't have because, you're passionate about something, right? You're passionate about your business. Somebody calls your baby ugly, you get offended. And that's what happened. And dude, the dog pile that I got on Sniper's Hide because I said some dumb shit, I granted, but the dog pile from a one-sided view was 6 pages long by the time Frank turned it off. It was horrendous. And if anybody knows me, and if anybody knows Straight Jacket, that's not how we roll. It's not. It's how we take care of people. But the problem was, is everybody took one side of the story and just dogpiled instead of letting somebody explain. And I get it, I screwed up, but it amazes me in these forums that this is what happens. And then one of the guys saw me on a post on long range hunting, went over there and started talking shit on me on long range hunting. And that's when I had a discussion with Frank, like, look, this is getting out of hand, this is what it is. Frank looked into it. Frank sided with us and took the whole post down. And you know what? It sucks because no one won. The customer, I had to refund a bunch of money. It was just a nightmare. But part of this is, and I've had this problem a lot at Straight Jacket Armory. People will come to me and they've had work done from X company and they talk shit on X company like, oh, they did me wrong. They screwed me. Okay, let's talk about it. Did you go back to them and did you give them the chance to fix it? Well, no. Why not? Well, because it should have been done right. It's like, dude, have you ever screwed up in life? If it's a big enough company, they're doing a lot of work. Stuff happens. Same thing with MDT, I'm sure, Matt. It's like
Yeah.
not everything coming off the line's perfect. And I would like to think that we as shooters are a close knit family. We're a close knit group. Hey, if I got a problem, I'm going to go back to the person. If the person tells me to pound sand and go to hell, then I'm gonna stir some shit up. I'm gonna get my big spoon out and I'm gonna have a fit, right? But it just amazes me how many of us are backstabbing each other, and that's kind of what I wanted to turn this podcast into. Is man, we've already got Straight Jacket Armory got our entire Facebook page pulled the other day. It's gone. 31,000 followers, toast. Worked my ass off for the last year trying to grow it, and they just pulled it one day. And we have enough issues from every side of this fight that we're getting attacked and we can't come together in the middle, and that's the shitty part about all this. And it's really bad, it seems like, on the hunting side of things too.
So I'm trying to pull up. So I'm actually in a thread right now. I'm on my cellular device here. Kind of
Which
reading,
thread?
catching up. The second one from Tuesday, it looks like.
Oh, the one where they deleted the original one and then Frank created another one. Yeah, that's the other one, right?
So I think a big takeaway to this is like you have to stand by your work and you have to let your reputation speak for itself, and you take care of the problems that come up and you take them care of them in the most amicable way possible. But I will say I've never been a business owner, right? I've worked for a ton of companies. I'm not in the business of making money for other people anymore. So um, I- you do what you can. Some people you just can't please, and that's
Mhm.
when you got to cut ties with them and say, "Hey, man, I think we did all we can do. Here's your money back. There's bigger things. There's bigger fish to fry. Sorry, we couldn't make this work." And from what I gather on the everything on that original post, like that's kind of the route that was taken. I didn't see anywhere where anybody was told flat out to go f themselves, and people have this weird conception of customer service. Um, so to me, like if a company responds and you try to take care of them and you're very open and transparent of what's going on, that is customer service. And you jumping on Cypress Hide and taking heat rounds is it to me is a little above and beyond. And I think some of the things that people say they would never say in person which is, I know
No, no.
you're getting to that, but um, they just wouldn't. How they conduct themselves behind a keyboard and how they conduct themselves face to face is two different things. And I guarantee you, if you were to meet these people and deal with them face to face, like they would not act that way. They would probably play it off and play nice and come to some sort of agreement. But we've lost touch with that, and um, unfortunately, like with the rise of meme accounts and forums and stuff, so forums have been huge for the last 20 plus years.
Mhm.
Um, it's just it's this thing that happened that people can just hide behind a screen name and type, even if they know who you are behind your screen name. I don't hide. I don't. If I have something to say, I say it, and it's coming from me. It's not coming from a screen name. I don't respect the whole, hiding behind it. I just don't do that. If you got something to say, you say it. But I would never say something online that I wouldn't say to someone's face. And I think that if you're like, if you have any salt to you, like that's how you operate. But if you
Mhm.
want to be cowardice and do that, then yeah. I've had issues recently with a gas gun barrel with McGowan, and I actually really like that barrel company. And other people have told me like, hey, stay away from 'em, yada yada yada. But I've had good results from their gas gun barrels, right? The things that I've ordered, I have like think of 5 of them, and I've had great results, and what I've ordered has been good, and I had one customer service experience which they fixed right away, and then this last time hasn't been so good. But I gave them every chance in the world. I called several times. I emailed. I sent pictures. Every week I sent a follow up email. And then I kind of played the game. But I had a $300 barrel that just wouldn't shoot. I wasn't going to give up on it, but I wanted to give them a chance to make it right. And in the end, I didn't flame them or anything, but I did bring it up like, hey, this is what's going on with this, and this is how I'm handling it. And in the end, they did finally answer the phone. I sent the player back, and they're working on it now. And I'm sure we'll come to some sort of agreement on whatever it is. And if not, man, that $300 isn't worth my time anymore.
Well,
It's just not.
and let me explain something to you, Matt. And a lot of people don't know this. So there was a gentleman running McGowan forever. His name was Dan. A lot of people didn't get along with him. A lot of people hated his guts. I got along with him just fine because he was a salty old Navy dude that told you exactly what he thought, and that was
Right.
Dan. Dan has gone through a lot of strokes as of lately, and he's
Yeah, I
almost
heard that.
died. His dad, everybody else died. So he left one day, and a bunch of other guys came in to try and figure out what Dan had been doing all these years. Because I had a meeting with the owner the other day because I was super unhappy about some carbon six barrels I ordered. If you know, McGowan's
Right.
part of carbon six,
Right.
and he apologized. He goes, dude, it's just gone nuts. Like we're trying to piece together everything. We're trying to figure it out. Shit's going south. These new guys that we have here don't necessarily know what happened. They don't know how to customer service. They're learning, and that's the
Mhm.
thing is it's hard for us as consumers to see the whole picture too. Like we get frustrated. And I've said
Right.
this to a lot of people within the industry. We have got so used to the Amazon effect
Yep.
that hey, I order something and it's here in 2 days. If I don't have it in 2 days, what the hell? And in the custom rifle industry, you still cannot do that in most cases. If you want something awesome, if you want just a pre-fit coming off the line, whatever, if you want a mass produced item, you can probably get it pretty quick. But it's not that way. And everybody has this perception that, oh, I'm going to get it in 2 days. And it's not the case. But to your effect, I'm not making any excuses for them because they need to step their freaking shit up. They need to get their
Yeah, but
customer service up.
on that note though, I'm not gonna go just absolutely roast them and go scorched earth on these people,
Uh,
because behind there too, there's people trying to make a living doing their jobs, trying to figure stuff out too. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't care. I just know I have a $300 barrel that doesn't shoot, and I'd really like to shoot it. Every
right.
other one that I have shoots fucking awesome. So, I just, man, it's just one of those things. Like I've never gone scorched earth on a company. I just can't bring myself to do it. And if I can't come to some sort of like I said, amicable agreement about something, then hey, guess what? You're just not going to get my business anymore. And if I have casual conversations with people too, I'll probably tell them about my experience. And that's just how it is. And you have to be really careful. So people forget that slander and libel exist as well,
Mm-hmm.
and they hide behind screen names and stuff, thinking that they're exempt from this. And that's actually it's a real thing. Like if you cost a business money due to false accusations of third party, I heard this from some, and then you can't verify it, and you can't I'm not a lawyer, but I know the premise of it. Um, you can't. This is it's not fact. You can be held responsible for that. Like
Hmm.
that's just how it works, and people forget that. And it, like I said, man, like a lot of these people, I've had problems with people, and then you go and you go and encounter these people in real life, and you're like, hey man, like what's up, let's talk this out, and they totally change their tune. I think that would be most of this too. I
Hmm.
don't so I use Sniper Side as an example, but online forums, Reddit, well, it doesn't matter, right? You get a lot of information, there's a lot of crap too, but I don't spend a lot of time there. I would rather spend my time watching cat videos than going through a lot of these threads of like something good pops up and there's 100 negative things of this calling this one person stupid or any other four-letter word. But it's just it gets kind of ridiculous, man, and I think I've personally outgrown it. um there are some good, like the for sale section stuff. They have some pretty good deals and stuff every now and then if you're not getting scammed, but even that's a huge risk nowadays. Man,
Oh yeah.
I've bought and sold some pretty high dollar things over the last couple of years. Personal things that I've bought, not one off prize tables and sold or anything, but I've sold some things. I sold an old scope that I had laying around for a couple $1,000s that I've used and enjoyed. And I paid out of pocket for years back. But I was actually nervous as hell to do this transaction with this guy of this couple $1,000s, right? Because like he doesn't know me, I don't know him, and I'm like, here's a picture of my ID. He doesn't know if it's real. Like, hey, Google my name. Here's who I work. This is what I do. Here's a selfie. You want to do some FaceTime? I don't care. Like, I feel bad for this guy, but my point to this is like there's a real human disconnect in all this, and what is real in the case with Straight Jacket is all the good customers that you have and the reputation that Nick and yourself have for doing the work you say you're going to do, and exceeding expectations, which I honestly like. I've come across that because the work that you guys have done on my personal stuff is one matches, and holy crap, does it work? Like, and it's clean. Like I told you, I'm not going to bullshit anybody, especially when it comes to machine work or smith work. Like that was the cleanest machine work I think I've ever seen. Like those barrel tenons were so clean, and I've had some really good smiths, reputable guys, and they've all done wonderful work. But when I started bore scoping stuff and checking chambers and the threads and everything, the muzzle threads and everything was exactly how I asked for it to be. I'm very particular. Yeah, it was awesome, man. And I'm one of those people that will never run something that I don't believe in, like just because. Like
Hmm.
I'm not gonna do that, even if I get paid to do that, which I don't get paid. But
Politely
like
decline.
I just
Yeah.
wouldn't do that.
Correct.
Yeah, and because I'm not gonna put my name on something, I'm not gonna do something or use something I wouldn't put my name on, and accept it as my own. So um, yeah, man, I can see where the stress comes with this for sure. Um,
Yeah.
but
I
also
mean,
that's a very small area.
since I bought Straight Jacket, we've closed over 600 orders. But I think I looked the other 600 and something orders, and this is one since I bought it. This is the first one that just went ape shit crazy, man. And I've tried to take people. This dude had our personal cell phones. He could have reached out and said, "Hey, did you intentionally screw me? If you did, then maybe go scorched earth." But I didn't even get that. It was just scorched earth. And Frank was like, "Well, he didn't even give you the chance to have a conversation." I said, "No." And in his thing, this is what set me off. This is what pissed me off. It said they have since stopped responding to my calls, and I'm like, we never got a call. Like if you would have called and left a message, but he didn't. And then he backtracked a little bit later. I was like, oh yeah, well I called them and they didn't answer, so I just put it on here. And I'm like, do you know how many calls we get a day? Like, and I'm not. Let me preface this. I'm not talking shit on this customer. I'm still not. Even after this, I'm not because I
Yeah, they're
get
still
it.
a
He was
customer. Yeah,
he was frustrated, and I get it. And I would have been frustrated in his position too because he got something back that he didn't think he was going to get back. So I am not talking any crap on this guy. I am just frustrated, probably just the way he is, because it wasn't handled correctly. Now, here's the thing a lot of you don't know. A lot of us within the industry talk, even within builders. Like I talk to other builders, I talk to other competitors, and we're still friends. We still respect each other. And when we see guys and gals out there, we find out who they are And then it
Hmm.
puts a lot of red flags up on who comes to us wanting stuff and who comes to us wanting, and then that a lot of people don't realize that it goes out through the industry, and a lot of people start realizing who it is, even if you think you're hiding behind a screen name, because there's a
Oh,
lot of ways.
someone knows.
There's
Someone
there's
knows.
there's always a way to do it. There was, and I'm not gonna name names. There's a big competitor of mine that was talking crap on another competitor under a different screen name, different everything. He hired somebody. They figured out who it was, and there was a lawsuit, big lawsuit, and
Yeah.
supposedly it was handled outside of court. There's a way to find out who these people are. You can't hide, and if you get that nasty, that's how it is, And I had that talk with Frank. You guys and gals also need to understand you hurt these companies, because if you're going on to these things and you're just stirring shit up, it hurts them, because other people don't want to sponsor. Other people don't want to talk. I sponsor Sniper's Hide. I don't really put anything on Sniper's Hide. I pay money every month to Sniper's Hide because it's still a place where we can go talk if you need to. You can't talk about a lot of that stuff on Facebook anymore. You can't talk a lot about any of that stuff on Instagram anymore. You have to have somewhere to go do that. And one of the forums, they were the original OG, but I see forums starting, me personally, I see forums starting to come back with the way we're getting treated on social media. With things getting deleted. I just got a freaking 30-day freaking ban because I posted a picture of a 777 action that we have in stock up on a screen. I got banned from all the groups that I manage for 30 days. I can't post on them. So long range tactics, good luck for 30 days. I can't post on.
Dude, my metrics now are trash. Like
Oh yeah.
all of my, so I keep track of everything, and my reach is trash. Like my non-followers and non-organic content is just, it's bad. It's super bad, and it's only getting worse. I agree with you on the forums thing, because we have to go somewhere. Like it's and we control it until some credit card company or somebody says we're not gonna, they won't accept payment or whatever. But yeah, it's got to happen somewhere. And the other, so and I want to hit on that for a second. So there has been attempts to make other two-way friendly apps and for, you know what I'm saying, like that stuff, like the social media apps, and it's never
Yeah.
been good, because the largest, I hate to use this term, but echo chamber that you can be in is that realm, and you just see the same stuff and then people get sick of it real quick when there's not things like other topics and everything looped in to kind of water it down, man. So um yeah, the forums are still relevant. I think there needs to be some ground rules though, and people need to feel the pain of just taking stuff way too far, or just don't. Like I just don't anymore. I don't post anything. I don't comment, because even if you comment on someone's post with good information, like vetted information or real experience, you get someone that's just gonna try to disprove you for the sake of disproving you. Two comments down. So it's like, why am I wasting my time?
Mhm. Right, right, right. Sorry, there was a little bit of a glitch right there. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and here's the deal. There was a couple of these guys on there, and Frank went scorched earth on them. He banned them forever off of Sniper's Hide because of
Yeah.
this thing, because he was so mad. But he goes, dude, they're just stirring stuff. I was talking to Nick. I'm like, dude, what the hell do these guys do for a living that they are on there all day, every day? And you can see, who comments on what and who. These guys have got
Yeah.
threads and threads and threads. I'm like, you must not be married, or you're in your mom's basement, or something is going on somewhere. Like, I don't know what the heck is going on to have this issue. You know what I mean?
Yep.
What the heck? Is my camera
It,
going weird on you?
it's going nutty.
What the world? That is crazy. Look at it go.
It might be your internet. Anyway, um, well, I am glad that,
Wow, that was bad.
yeah. So I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Yeah, maybe that's a good thing. You don't need to see me anyway. Yeah, something happened to my connection and my webcam just died. That's awesome. Oh well. Probably going to run better now that you don't see me.
Yeah.
And I apologize for that freaking noise. I thought I muted everything. Man, we're still learning. We're still learning after 80. So, hey, we're over 80 episodes now, though. So that's definitely good. Let me turn some of this crap off. But anyway, so back to what we were talking about. Um, just
Yes.
being a decent human being. I mean, it is.
Yeah, but man, I gotta tell you, I don't put too much stock in forums and stuff, and I don't think the real the real people that are into all this really do any or any profession or any skill set or anything really put too much time. It seems to be kind of the people that aren't up to snuff. They're gonna spend a lot more time in the digital realm talking about it than actually doing it. So
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I whatever. It's
Yeah.
something you laugh at. Some of it's just sad.
Yeah, and that, I mean, again, that's what long range tactics is about. We created a place. I saw a post the other day that one of the guys, we commented on his stuff, and he goes, "Wow, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I've posted this in a couple other groups, and I just got attacked." And then we wonder why we can't have a solid group of a shooting community because we're attacking each other. And dude, it's even worse in the hunting community. Like I'm in some of those hunting groups, and holy have mercy,
I,
like
I
just
won't I won't be I won't be into the I won't be into the hunting groups. I can't do it. I can't do it. I was in a few and I peeled out. I just can't do with it. It's some of those people are so just crass, and it's just not good. Not good to read. Not good to be a part of. So I'm with you there.
No, yeah, it's horrible. It really is. Hey, look, there's my camera. It came back. It's haunted. But hey, to Frank, I appreciate Frank Galley. He stepped up, told them all to go to hell, did his thing, and he's supporting those who support him, who's doing that, and that's great. I saw Frank step up and deeply appreciate what he's doing over there at Sniper's Hide because there really is only a couple big forums. I know, to your point, there's been a lot of people that have tried to start a lot of forums lately and no one gets behind them, which is,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Long Range Tactics has a forum. I build it out. It's there. It's badass. I just never marketed it because I have no time to babysit it. Because that's the biggest problem that people don't see
Yeah.
is the
It takes a lot
babysit.
of time.
It would take tons of time. I'd need an entire team to babysit a forum, and I created it back when I was like, all right, screw this. I'm making it free for people to buy and sell stuff. But then I see, to your point, like how many scammers there are out there in all of, the Facebook groups, and like the county yard sales and all that. You can tell
Yeah.
3/4 of them are just scammers now. And it sucks because some people are just so damn gullible, they don't see it. But it is a joke. And there's a lot of too good of deals out there, and you guys and gals have kind of got to see through that. Like, that's probably too good of a deal. Like, you're not really getting rid of a loophole Mark 5 for $1,000. It's probably not happening. You know what I mean? You got to be
No.
smart with
100%.
that type of thing.
No, so I bought some high dollar items and even a pistol off of an online marketplace and had it shipped it legally, FFLs and yada yada. But I was nervous. Like, is this thing really going to get here? Is the tracking number that was sent, like, is it real? Like, who I sent money to, are they legit? Like, so yeah, no, it's kind of scares the crap out of me, to the point like I don't know why people still do a lot of it. It's
I know.
just,
It's like,
but
let's
I
go.
mean, so what we're into long range stuff. There's not like locally. There's no secondhand markets. You have to go online. You have to.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, Vegas is more the AR pistol, that type of. I know there's a lot of big ranges down there, right?
Yeah, but I don't know what Vegas is. I think I have so even the pistol world down here isn't as big as I thought it would be. When Phoenix 4 hours away is gigantic with everything, that is a shooting city. I'll tell you that. But
Oh
Vegas
yeah.
just isn't, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I've gone to some big pistol matches and stuff here, and you think that there's this huge draw, and there's just not. The shooting community down here is it's pretty weak per capita, to be honest, man. It's very surprising, and I don't understand it. Um, it's like there's way smaller communities that have way larger turnouts to all these different type of shoots and stuff. And man, you'd think it'd be good, but it's pretty mediocre, to be honest. And there's some good people. I don't want to take it away from the people, the quality of people, but the quantity is just not there.
Well, and I think, I've heard it from a lot of people that reached out and I screwed up and I promised a lot of people that I was going to create uh, some sort of a calendar or something that people can post up on when local matches are going to be and stuff. And a lot of people have
Too
hard
much.
times. Oh, dude, that'd take forever. But
Yeah.
um, a lot of people just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And it's like a lot of people ask, man, I want to get into shooting. I just don't know where to go. Okay. So you live in this area. Here's the places that you can go do this. I mean, if somebody could do that, it'd be awesome. But giving someone a bunch of people somewhere to go to find that kind of thing, because we always get it
So
on tactics like, hey, I live here, does anybody know where to go, because they can't find it. And with a Google search you can find a lot of things, so
so
granted.
practice score has some. I'm getting a lot of weird reverb. Are you getting that?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I think
Practice.
it's
I'll
aliens.
start over. Practice score has the ability to do that. It's just the layout and the user interface of it is not good yet. I know they're working on a lot of stuff in practice score, which has been an amazing asset to the shooting community. But um, the finding the matches part is kind of rough. Um, but it can be used in that way. You can search an area and find stuff, and sometimes you get too much, but it can be used like that. And then Facebook is pretty good for finding stuff too. There's events and stuff listed, or searching the the flavor of whatever um,
What's
topic
that
you want.
other one that they're using back east now? Somebody created a whole new one. The PRS is all over now.
So Ultimate Ballistics. So that actually started in Europe. So Ultimate Ballistics is like a live scoring. The live scoring thing is pretty cool, but the user interface to the matches part and register is a little rough. Where practice score I think is a little cleaner. So there is two. There's been, I mean, everyone the default is practice score, so trying to loop in anything else is kind of rough. But the live scoring thing is pretty cool because you can see it. But at a match, like as a contestant, I don't care about that because it
Hmm.
can change in a heartbeat. So I don't take any stock in it. End of the day is the end of the day. Care about the overall score and how I did against everybody else, and that's it. The live scoring for some of the bigger events is kind of neat, but as a spectator from far away, but as a competitor, I don't want that. That's too much information. It's too
Yeah, and
much.
I know a lot of people have tried to do like live streams and live this and live that, and it's funny because we as an industry don't really get behind that very much. But
No.
no, we haven't. But I don't know. Dude, it's come so damn far from when we started shooting. There was only a little teeny group of us that started shooting back in whenever the hell it was. And, then it went to, there was one match every month. There was a couple hundred competitors. And then it started spreading. Now you got NRL 22, and you've got so many different things within every state now to
So
compete.
I had
So,
I had a friend tell me something good about because you and I are in sort of the same age group, but that way back when part was a couple kids ago.
why you got to do
That's
that? What the
that's what he told me. I didn't have kids, but I was like, no, that makes that makes total
son of
sense.
a bitch.
So kids
You tell him to
go.
wash his mouth out with soap.
And then whoever's listening, probably, I know there's people with kids that can be listening. Like, okay, that
Back
makes
in
sense.
my day.
When I had
Yeah.
free time and money, yeah, got it.
Yeah, and then, dude, dude, I'm dead serious. I had that conversation the other day. I'm like, do you know how many of those guys that I was shooting with back then are divorced now, and they don't
Yeah.
shoot anymore at all? And
Oh
the
yeah.
divorce
No.
the divorce rate went through the roof because they were gone every weekend competing, and most of those guys that I freaking shot with, they're not. You don't see a shooting post anywhere near their stuff. A
Mm-mm.
couple of them hunt a lot, but like I just giggle. I'm like, man, they were so on to shooting forever. And I'm like, here I am. What the hell am I still doing? I'm like, but it is funny because people are like, well, why don't you still compete? I, I I'm good. I don't need to compete. I did my thing, and I like to fish. I still do. I still do like to go do the one
Yeah.
days. I really do. Um, I need to start doing it again. I just don't have time. And when I talk about guns all day, all week, the end of the weekend, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't need to go shoot. I'm fine. I don't need to do it. But I've built so many freaking guns over the years. They just sit there and they're all rusted. Well, they're stainless steel, but you get the meaning. They're just not doing it. And you've kind of flip flopped. You weren't shooting as much before, and now you went balls to the wall and you're shooting more than you ever have. What
So
the
I,
hell
I
happened to
shoot
you? Midlife
I
crisis? What
shoot
the hell happened?
I shoot every weekend. I'm not in uniform. So yeah, man. But I don't so well that's kind of it, right? When you can't have something, it's more attractive. So um yeah, I'm sure I'll reach a day or time when I'm just like, there's other things I want to accomplish, and with that, I'll accomplish that thing. And a lot of people, it is the kids thing or new career or something like that, or a new significant other or whatever, however they view their life, but or race cars or boats or whatever they're get into. Um, there'll be a time. I mean, I just turned 37. Yeah, 37. So I'm sure in a couple years or something, maybe I won't shoot as much or whatever, but I'm making a good run at it. But I've been doing this in 2016, like full seasons since 2016,
Hmm.
full years, around 30 matches a year every year, um, which has been tough. But I enjoy travel, but I enjoy it for different reasons. And I'm only going to travel and do things that I want to do. A couple weeks I'll be up in Canada doing the Canadian Interval Hunter with MDT guys, and I'm going to that just simply because I love the people up there and the scenery is going to be amazing. It's like an adventure. Um, I'm only going to do the ones that I want to do, man. Like that's it. I'm not going to go chase points and do and shoot these really boring venues or match directors that are not that are great. So yeah, man. But there's going to come a time I'm going to feel just like that. Just like, hey, man, I did my thing. I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, and let's do something else in life. So
Well, and
it's not a life sentence.
to our point, I was talking to Nick about this the other day. I says, dude, we've also got to realize how much it costs to shoot. A pound of powder back then was,
20
20,
bucks. Yeah.
$20. And we were shitting our pants. Primers were
Mhm.
$30 per thousand, whatever they were.
Yeah.
And we were still complaining like it was expensive. Now it's a whole nother level of holy crap, that's expensive.
Yep.
Actions have gone up, barrels have gone up, everything's through the roof. To even get to the match, gas is expensive. Everything has gone, inflation has just gone through the roof. And I
No,
get it. A lot
you
of
have
people
to you have to be able to afford it. You
yeah.
have to be able to afford it. You have to. And that's one of the things, like my career and everything is giving me the ability to afford it and then and enjoy to travel. But man, like you are, so if you're traveling on your own dime and you want to go to a 2-day match, that's $1,000. All in,
Mhm,
it's $1,000. So
mhm.
you gotta be willing to do $1,000 if you don't have sponsors stuff foot in the bill. So yeah, man.
And
It's
it
gotta go.
that was the thing that always cracked me up. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get sponsors. They're gonna pay for all my shit." That's not how
Mhm.
sponsorship works in a
Not
lot
how
of
it
this.
works.
Sponsorship's usually a little bit of product. There's a couple guys. There's a couple guys that get paid to go to matches and do their thing, but there's just a couple. There's not very many.
Yeah,
If
but
you work,
so I don't want it to get to that though. So I'm in a unique position, but I don't seek financial compensation because then it's a job. And then when it's a job, it's no longer something you enjoy, it's something you have to do. You may still get some enjoyment, but the reason has changed and your outlook on things changes. I mean, it, it's just, and when it was my job to travel and shoot and do marketing and stuff, I just, man, I still loved it because I love the people, I love travel and stuff, but it changed my view on things for sure.
I don't know what is going on, but my freaking computer just kicked my thing off again. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, even back then it was super expensive to shoot. Luckily, there for 2 years I shot for Team Remington and they paid
Yeah.
for a lot of stuff. And but to your point, like, dude, it was one of the most miserable times of me shooting is when I wore a jersey. It truly was. I hated that because I felt like there was a super big expectation on my shoulders too, of like I
There is.
had to place a certain point. I had to talk about stuff on, so I had to do all this. And I'm like, it's people think it's super glamorous to have a jersey and to have all these things on it. And over the years, I found out it's more fun just to wear a t-shirt and go have fun with the boys, and the girls. Like, my favorite part of shooting was always the after action. I mean, Josh Clough's one of my favorite people in the world, and
Yeah.
me and him would just hang out after, and we'd get in all sorts of freaking trouble. There's still people that tell stories about Josh Clough and the shit we got into. And, that was just it. That's the kind of stuff to me that was fun. The shooting was just part of it, but man, the people were probably the most fun of it. And the sad part about it is it got so competitive, and that's kind of one thing that turned me off was it got so damn competitive that it wasn't fun anymore. Like, guys were
Yeah.
cheating. Guys were, you know, I at my match, they were just chewing freaking ROs out over one shot because it was so competitive. And I had ROs quit, and they're like, they've never shot since. They sold their guns because of it, because they got beat up so bad. And I felt bad about it. I felt horrible. And it was from those top competitors because it got so bad. And that's what eventually really turned me off was just the way people were treating each other because of that, because of a freaking prize table.
Well,
I hate to say it.
this kind of goes full circle to our original conversation here. Like, just be a good person, and what really matters. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, like, you go home, is your family really going to be disappointed that you didn't win, or you know, like you didn't shoot the best group of your life, or didn't have the best customer service experience, or whatever is in front of your stress in the day? Like, no, really, I don't think they're gonna care about that.
No, no. I was just like, well, did you have fun? Yeah. You can go
Like,
next
all right,
weekend?
cool.
No, I'm good. Oh, all right.
Yeah,
No, I think I'm gonna go fishing. Oh, okay, that's fine.
man, I do miss fishing, man. I don't have good fishing down here.
Well,
I was telling someone about that.
you're
No,
always
man.
welcome up here. Get up here. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, man, I got fly rods sitting in their cases, like just collecting whatever's in the case now. And
Yeah.
man, I miss it. I miss
One
it.
of our really good customers got a big freaking ocean boat, but he brought it to Utah. So you can either go to Flaming Gorge and sit on Lakers, big ass Lakers, or we can go to
Yeah,
Strawberry and catch kokanee. I
yeah.
mean, dude, that stuff, that's fun. I don't even care if I catch a fish. I'll throw a freaking sinker in the water. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to get the hell away and just do something else. That's what that's about. Looking back, I always thought, I'm like, Dad, what is so great about fishing with my father? I'm like, what the hell? Like,
You
this is
just you
boring.
did you
This
didn't
is boring
understand.
as
So
hell.
you got
And
there.
now I look back and I'm like, this is the best thing ever. How did I not
It's
realize that
it's the
this was
only
the
time that he
key?
had to himself.
Exactly. He'd just sit there. He'd sit in his chair. I remember one day we were eating lunch and his fishing pole was bent over, just big ass freaking rainbow on it. And he just sat there and watched it. I'm like, you know what? We came down here to fish and you're gonna catch fish. It'll be fine. It'll be there when I'm done eating.
Yeah, little did you know the goal wasn't to actually catch a fish. That was kind of the side effect. Oh man,
But
that's great.
but to that effect, and I want to kind of end with this. I have had more fun going to matches lately, the last few matches that I've done, and helping other shooters and just relaxing. Like, I'll go up to the freaking course of fire, and I've screwed up a couple times because I just wasn't paying attention because I was just screwing around. But it has been more fun to me personally just to go have fun, like just to go compete. Like, it's one of those things, like, you get so wound up. And then the funny thing is I quit competing so hard and I started placing higher. It's like I was in my own head so bad. I was so into it. Now you've been placing, top, you've been winning matches, which is awesome. And I've seen a lot of people grow over the years. There was a couple guys that were at the bottom of every match I ever watched them do, and now I see them, they're top five every time they shoot. And there's so much room for growth. There's so much room for fun in this, and to go out and not meet your expectations is rough. But don't set your expectations so high that you think you have to finish, and it just ruins your whole point on shooting either. That was a
So
hard.
so I want to add to this. So I shoot a lot. I'm very competitive. My wife will tell you that, but I'm very competitive. But I would rather see and I've done this at one of my matches. I have given another competitor my rifle and ammo to shoot the rest of the match, and I will run a squad, um, just so that person can learn and have enjoyment and take that away, because that has a greater effect on them and the community and sport as a whole. I would rather do that than watch that person suffer and me shoot and do well. I will do that, and I'll continue to do that every single time just because of that. I can't sit by and let someone, they came for a good time, they need to leave and have a good time, because that's the point. Whether they won or got last place, as long as they had a good time, I give shit rest about the rest of it, man. Like I truly do. Even if that happens this weekend, I just hand off my stuff and say, hey man, hammer on, and we'll talk about it after. Like that's
Mhm,
how it's gonna roll.
mhm.
Like, and
And that's
every
yeah,
time.
yeah, and that's how I am with hunting now. And I honestly get more excitement out of helping somebody else bag their first animal
Oh
or
God,
get
yes.
than me shooting an animal. Like it's crazy to think about, but I'm like, and I don't think. Hopefully, you guys listening, or me and Matt are not tooting our horn or no our own horns.
No.
Oh, we're doing it. We just, man, we enjoy it. And that's the thing. We enjoy it so much that we want to see other people succeed. And I think that's the whole point of this podcast was quit trying to be so negative and be positive and help somebody. And I think you'll see a lot bigger reward in life
Mhm.
than trying to freaking hide behind a screen name and talk shit on
And
people.
burn someone down for no. What does anybody get out of it?
Right. And it's amazing, going back to the very first thing, a lot of those guys that burned me on the podcast or on the sniper side thing, I private messaged them. I said, dude, what's the deal? Like, what? Well, you did this and you did this. I'm like, have you heard my side of the story? Have you? Well, no, I just heard his. So you took one side of the story, you assumed, you made your whatever, and now I'm a horrible person because of this. And then I had an adult conversation, and a couple of them were like, wow, okay, maybe you're not a piece. I mean, to some people maybe I am, but maybe you're not a POS and you're just trying to do the right thing, and it backfired on you. And the whole damn thing backfired on me. But at the end of the day, it was none of it was to hurt anybody, but the people that piled onto us hurt us. It did. It affected our business for a couple weeks. It really did, which is crazy to think that it would, but it did. And that's the thing that we all need to think about before we open our mouth is how is this going to affect this company, in the industry. And now I get a lot of companies out there are POSs, man. There's some bad ones. And some of them probably need to get burned down so that other people don't make that same mistake. But I think probably 95% of the time, most companies are probably pretty good and they just screwed up somehow.
Yeah. Well, I think I can attest to that. I've met more good people than I ever have bad. So, especially in the
Especially in
industry.
this industry, man, most of the business owners are awesome dudes, man. You
Well,
get to
the bad
meet
ones work. The bad ones take care of themselves.
them.
They go away.
Yeah, and everybody really shortly knows who they are, and that's how it's always been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's everyone's connected.
Yeah. Well, in closing, I want to thank our last sponsor, U Tire Guns. Man, they're just solid dudes. We've got to get with them, Matt, and do something up here. I texted you the other day. We got to schedule something because he keeps bugging me about doing some hunts, doing some shoots. We got a bad pigeon problem, dude. Once you go air gun, you're never gonna go back. So, Utah air guns, man. I'm telling you, dude. I've shot for
I'm
years
I'm
and
not
years.
I'm not even going to disagree with you. I just don't have one yet. So,
We'll change that, son. We'll change it. The cool thing is, let me preface this. I have voodoos. I've got high end 22s. I've got probably 10 22s now. Love them, absolutely love them. But the thing is people are like, oh, dude, air guns are so expensive to get into. Okay, you're
not really.
3,500. You're about $3,500 to get into a solid air gun with the tanks and everything else you need. But you can get 250 pellets for like $25. So after you buy the air gun, you don't buy powder, you don't buy anything else. You just
Ammo, nothing.
you just refill the freaking tank, put pellets in it, shoot. And it's not like you're going to burn the damn barrel out. You know, I'm shooting a 25 cal. This is a cool thing. I'm shooting a 25 cal FX M3 from Utah Air Guns. shooting 980 feet per second with a 25 cal pellet, and it's getting an extreme spread of like 0.8, I think. So they're so freaking accurate, and they're so consistent because the air is just consistent every time. They're just fun. So go check out Utah Air Guns. Tell them we say, me and Matt are going to do some content here pretty soon with them. But thanks for listening, and thanks for letting us air our grievances. And again, if there's somebody out there that you have issues with, at least give them the chance in the first place to make it right. If they don't, then you decide what you're going to do. But give them the chance to make it right in the beginning. And if you're another company, if you're a competitor out there listening, be a decent competitor. Don't freaking bash each other. I mean, we're just there's enough work. There's enough work out there. There truly is. But I appreciate you, Matt. Thanks for joining me. And until next week.